Next, we're going to move on to an AVID presentation. Yay.
Good evening, President Wagers and Board of Trustees and Attendant Roberts. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share with you about AVID and the College and Career Readiness System. So if you would go back one, I would just like to point out, this is a celebration that we hold every year. And as you can see, this is our 23-24 group of AVID seniors. And we like to celebrate them for all the work that they do throughout their schooling. And a lot of our seniors have chosen to be in the AVID elective for 6 years. And so we celebrate their successes and their accomplishments each year. So just a little bit of background on what AVID is. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. And it's a research-based college and career readiness system. And it's been around for over 45 years. And we have had it in our district since 2006. And as you can see, AVID's mission aligns with our mission as well. AVID's mission is to close the opportunity gap by preparing all students for college and career readiness and success in a global society. And on the right, you will see the AVID College and Career Readiness Framework and all the work that we do for student success. And as you can see at the bottom, it's that relational capacity is that true foundation. Okay. I'm used to having a clicker. And so Will says I just need to go like this. So like I said, AVID was first implemented in our school district at Fairmont Junior High in 2006. And we systematically onboarded all of our secondary sites. And by 2012, we were implementing AVID in those secondary sites. Fairmont Junior High became a national demonstration school in 2011. And in 2018, we decided that we would start bringing on our AVID elementary sites. And we chose 2 AVID elementary sites that feed into Fairmont, which are Morley Nelson and Valley View Elementary. And we are bringing on Jefferson and Hawthorne, and they'll begin to implement AVID in 2025 in the fall. Oh, sorry. So one of the things I wanted to share with you is our increased enrollment over the years. So we started with 85 students, and as you can see, we have increased with our AVID students over time. We did take a dip, as you can tell, in 2021 as we were during our pandemic, and I'm happy to say that we have now increased over time. When we talk about the AVID elective, it is a course that's offered beginning in 7th grade. And it's a class where our students are learning all of the skills to be successful in college. And it truly shows with this data that our students are going on to college. So that direct entry into college, when you look at the data here. But what we want to also point out is that we do have AVID seniors that go into the military or trade or choose a religious path straight out of high school. And so you'll see those numbers not at 100%, if you will. And we're waiting on the 2024 statewide data, which I was they let me know that that data should be available by the end of the month. And so once I get that, I'll be able to add that into it. But the other piece is about the persistence that our students have, that grit to go on and to work through challenging things that might come their way. And so seeing that our students go back, you know, they go into direct entry, but they continue. And so you'll see that percentage there as well.
Trustee Gregory.
Thanks. This data about high school direct entry, et cetera, do we collect that ourselves or do we contract with it to be collected?
Great question. President Wagers and Trustee Gregory. This is from the National Clearinghouse. So
All three, ours, AVID, ours, and the state.
Yeah. And then this one shows our attendance rates in the Boise School District. The one thing we do is we gather our data every year inside our buildings, and the attendance rate for the year is shown up here. One of the things that I want to make sure I point out is when we report data in this certain document, we talk about our AVID data, and then we talk about all students to see that comparison. And when we report all students in this data, like this attendance, our AVID students are included in this all. So you'll see that as well. You know, our district is so good about, we're about opportunity for all. And not just for our students, but for our teachers. And so one of those opportunities that we as teachers have been able to participate and be a part of is the clarity work that's happening in our district. And when we talk about our AVID teachers and our coordinators in our buildings, they are leaders as well in the buildings. And so this is choice, right? To go to Clarity and be a part of the work. And as you can see, 76% of our AVID elective teachers and coordinators have attended or are currently attending Clarity 1.0. 93% have deepened their understanding through CLCs when it comes to Clarity. And then at their elementary level, 70% of our AVID elementary staff have attended Clarity 1.0. So they are wanting to be part of this as well and to be that support in the buildings. We offer Summer Bridge every summer in our junior highs that are able to offer it. And the Summer Bridge is a math program that helps to enrich our students in their math skills, as well as filling in those gaps, if you will. Our incoming AVID 7th graders are taking the Compact 7-8 course. And so this is another opportunity for them to be a part of that course to, once again, like I said, strengthen their skills. And so as you can see, 37 out of the 43 in our 23-24 cohort went directly into Compact 7-8 or Integrated 1, which is the algebra, and 86% earned an A or B. And then an exciting piece of data that we like to share is about our AVID tutors. Our AVID tutors are the backbone of our tutorials, and they facilitate those tutorials with our students in the AVID elective course. And we have 8 former AVID tutors teaching in the Boise School District, and 75% have taught or are currently teaching the AVID elective, which is exciting. The other piece of data that we're thrilled to share is that 34% of our current tutors are former AVID students, with 29% being former AVID students in the Boise School District. So when we talk about them being part of something, they talk a lot about family, belonging, being part of their school. And this really shows that they continue and want to continue to be part of our schools because they come back and tutor for us in our schools. So giving back, connecting, big piece of what we do in AVID. But you can see that our high school students have been involved over the years with our elementary with their feeder schools. And you can see the different activities and events they've been a part of. And the other piece is that we do what we call a shadow day at our high schools, where they bring in the incoming ninth graders and start to connect with them. They call that a shadow day, and they show them around the high school. And they take them into those AP classes. And they get to be on campus at the high school to see what is ahead of them. Super fun facts here. We are so lucky to be so supported by our Boise School Education Foundation, and we have surpassed the $1 million mark in scholarships that they have awarded our AVID students. We couldn't be more thrilled. And these scholarships truly are another layer that provides our students the opportunity to go on. And so you'll see some of the colleges that they have been a part of, but this is just a few. There are many, many more that our students have gone on to college and graduated. We have a former AVID student, Patrick Gallo-Malume, who was a former AVID student, and he's an attorney in our community. So once again, being part of our community. And then he's also sits on the Boise Public Schools Foundation Board of Directors. So, you know, it's kind of like that full cycle. So jumping into our strategic plan and our goals, we are part of Goal 2. And once again, all students have equitable opportunities to access district programs and achieve success in those programs. And so we're going to go through just briefly those action items. So the first action item is that continued support for our new to district, new to profession teachers, that we offer the trainings in the critical reading and the math and the science and the tutorology for our new teachers into our district to help strengthen the school-wide piece in their buildings. In the last 5 years, and we take out 2020, 21, because we weren't training during that time. But over that course from that point, 257 teachers have chosen to attend the critical reading and writing course, 63 teachers in the math, and 48 teachers in the science. And you can see the different activities that they have been engaged with, sharing what students have been doing with marking the text, give one, get one strategies, our tutorials, our teachers are engaging in that process that they support their students with in their classroom. The second item, action item, continue to train and support sites in the focus note taking and the thinking maps. And so all trainings that we offer include the strategies, and you can see the student learning and then the teachers learning as well in the different note taking. And one of the things that we hear so often from our former AVID students when they come back to speak at our high schools is the note taking is key. That helps them be successful in those courses that they're taking in their college that they're in. So action item 3, continuing to provide training for our teachers in our buildings, once again, to support that school-wide piece. So we go to Summer Institute every year, and this is where our teachers get that individual training that ties to the courses or the subjects they teach. And then on the right, you'll see we spend 3 hours a day doing what we call site team time. And during that time, they're able to work together, collaborate, look at their goals, their school goals, and take them through that continuous improvement cycle to see where they're at and where they need to go, what their next steps will be as they continue to work towards those goals or set new goals with layers in them. And then action item 4, continue to implement AVID Elementary at our 2 existing sites, and we're expanding, like I said, with the 2, Jefferson and Hawthorne. And right now we're in a planning year, so we spend a year planning before we implement. And so the 4 principals, we've been collaborating as we've been preparing for that implementation in the fall. Action item 5, increase the number of AVID students taking AP classes and AP exams. This has been a big one because we really want to make sure that our students are accessing those AP courses. And when they are accessing those AP courses, we want to make sure that they are following through and taking those exams. We talk about all the time, it can only help you. And so as you can see through the data over the years, it is increasing again. We took a little dip again, of course, 21, 22. So we're seeing an increase on accessing AP, and we're thrilled, and taking the exam as well. And then providing opportunities for the learning coaches to learn more about the AVID strategies. And so this 18 learning coaches have attended AVID Summer Institute with their sites to help be that support and learn along beside them. And then 10 learning coaches have attended 1 or more of our district AVID Path trainings with a building teacher. And so once again, supporting and working together, collaborating to embed those best practices into their lessons that are engaging. All right, I thank you very much for letting me share with you about the AVID College and Career Readiness System, and I'll open it up back to you for questions.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate the education on AVID. Any Trustee Benyon, and then we'll go to Trustee Donovan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the presentation. Who are the AVID students? How are students identified for the AVID program?
Great question, President Wagers and Trustee Benyon. So students are identified in multiple ways. One of the biggest ways is from their 6th grade teacher in the elementary. And they're looking for students that, that individual determination is super important. They have to want to be in it. It's an elective. So the kids have to want to do it, right? And then they're taking rigorous courses, advanced courses in their path and enrollment. And so that's one way that they're chosen. They're also found, if you will, in their own buildings, because we know a lot of times students are missed for one reason or another. So, and the students that we talk about, the forgotten middle, right? We have a lot of things for both ends, but the forgotten middle, that's AVID. And in our district, we look for students in the 2.0 to 4.0 range with that individual determination and that want to do it.
Trustee Donovan.
Thank you. I just want to thank you for that shadow day. I think that's the best idea I've ever heard that helps the kids that maybe think they want to drop out as a, going into the high school, but to continue on after seeing what the classes look like and being with the student for a day. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, President Wagers and Trustee Donovan. Yes, that is has been a huge success in all of our quadrants. And you're right, it does, you know, for some that are kind of border, you know, do I need this? Do I really need this? Going into high school, when they get the opportunity to go over and start connecting, they're like, you know, hey, this is it. So.
Trustee Langley?
Thank you, President Wagers. So it seems like this may not be totally a question. It may be a question for you and around you. And that is that a lot of the strategies that we saw are really similar to the strategies that we're trying to implement with our new pedagogy across the entire district. So can you talk towards, I mean, the question when you look at the data is, why isn't it every kid an AVID kid? So can you talk a little bit towards how there's crossover, or maybe there's other voices in the room that could join you so that we understand better?
Yeah, thank you, President Wagers and Trustee Langley. Yes, there is a lot of crossover, and I am open to Deputy Superintendent Mills to join in if she would like to. But what you do notice is at the beginning, AVID is research-based. And so what AVID did was, before they even implemented AVID in 1980, they did their research and found those best practices that work best for our students that teachers could use. And you'll see the same strategies because they are Hattie's, Marzano, you know, those high effective strategies. So.
We'll go to Trustee Haslund, and then we'll go to Superintendent Roberts.
So this is actually not necessarily for you, but based on your amazing graph that you put together on graduation and the percentages there. And one thing I wanted to see that I'm just requesting maybe for the future would be adding on our CTE students, and if they're graduating going on into that. So if we look at like 59% are graduating going on to college, what's our percentage coming out of our CTE programs? That we could add on that percentage to see, you know, how many students we're preparing and how they're going on. And then my next comment would be, last month we were able to go with the foundation and meet and hear from students in AVID. And it was so exciting and so amazing to be able to hear their experiences, and students that said, no one in my family's ever gone to college. And it was really incredible for us. And I love that opportunity to have that interaction and ask them questions and learn from them. So thank you for everything you're doing through AVID.
Well, President Wagers and Trustee Haslund, thank you. I appreciate that. And we can definitely look into the CTE piece and get that data out to you.
Superintendent Roberts.
So Teresa Iglesias has been working with AVID since the very beginning. And I'm going to say that the success of AVID and the reason that AVID is part of our system now and is completely embedded is in large part due to Teresa and the work she's done. Number one, she has to wrangle all of those staff members at Summer Institute and all the travel plans every year. I don't know how you do it. That might be her retirement career. You might become a travel agent. No, but truly, the success of AVID is very much, I think, on her shoulders in so many ways. We're very fortunate.
President Wagers and Superintendent Roberts, I really appreciate that. I love what I do. I believe in it. And when those two things go together, I love it.
Great. Any further questions or comments? Presentation? Thank you very much, Teresa. Appreciate all you do for us and our students and our community. So
Thank you.
thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.